We are going to be learning and spending some time with the Sicha Chelek Chof Gimel and discussing part of that Sicha, not every part of it, but a good part of it. Incredible innovations and chidushim in that Sicha that we're going to touch on. And as usual, explain some points that we can based on that, the chidushim of that Sicha. Okay, so as an introduction, I want to learn a few halachas in Rambam that are relevant to the Sicha, and eventually we're going to learn more of them as they come about. But being that the Sicha is about Milchemes Midyon and Milchama, different types of wars, so I want to start off with the understanding of, and also the connection of Tribe of Levi to these wars. So I want to start off with learning those Rambam, some Rambams regarding the Tribe of Levi's connection to war and so forth. So first of all, in Hilchos Shmita and Yevim, where the Rambam, why is he talking about war there? Well, we'll see soon. War is really discussed in Hilchos Malachim. But there he talks about Tribe of Levi. And he says, starts off, Halacha Aleph, Tribe of Levi, Af al pi she'ein lahem chelek ba'aretz. They have no place, no chelek in Eretz Yisrael. Kvar nitztavu Yisrael litein lahem orden l'sheves migrashem. There's a command for the Eden to give them orden l'sheves migrashem. I want you to keep this stored in your memory, this halacha. And then he explains where those Arim are, the cities that we give them. Now, fast forward to halacha Yud. Kol Shevet Levi Mizharim Shaloi Yinchalu Be'eretz Canaan. They should not inherit Nezek. And also, V'chein Hein Muzharim, and this is a very important halacha for the Sicha that we're going to learn. Shlayitlu Chelek Babiza. They don't take any part in the spoils of war. When they capture the lands. Shenema Layiyah Lekoyanim Halaviyim Kol Shevet Levi Chelek V'nachla Im Yisrael. They should not have a Chelek Im Yisrael together with you. Chelek B'biza V'nachla Ba'aretz. They shouldn't have a part in the Biza or the Nachla Ba'aretz. You shouldn't have any part in their spoils or in inheritance. And then he speaks about what happens if they did take, but that's not our discussion. Now here goes a very big chiddush of the Rambam that he doesn't attribute to anybody else but himself. And Allah right? Yearly, it seems to me, I wanted to say that I once heard from, I don't remember who said it, that when a Rishon, or especially to talk about the Rambam, when he says yearly, it's much stronger than when he gives a raya and he tells you where it comes from. And the word was that when he tells you where it comes from a specific one place. When it's yearly, it's coming from the whole Rambam. The whole Sichos of the Rambam is yearly. This is the Rambam's Kolatar Kula is telling you that this is what should be. That Now the Rambam is very medayik in every word here. We're going to see later. In the land that was given as a bris to Avram, Yitzchak, Yankov. Bris was only given to Avram. If you remember, there was later the Yankov, the Yitzchak, Yankov, but why he goes through this. And the Yarshul Halid B'nayim and Eschalkala was inherited by their children and divided them. Now, why the Rambam has to be so specific and tell you which land? We know which land it is. Yeah, as the game, they'll tell you which land it is. But all of the land, Shekayvish, Melech, and Malchi Yisrael, like Rekanim, Alviyim, Be'ez, and Aratzis, and because of Kechol Yisrael, they're like any Jew. One more halacha, which is going to be discussed in the Sicha, and he ends up in halacha Yud Beis. Now, why? The lama loizach a Levi benachlas Eretz Yisrael. Ube bizoza im echov. Why didn't he get that? Meshahuvdal. His job is he's been separated to serve God and to teach his ways and his laws to the people. They've been separated from the ways of the world. Now listen to the next few words. Some of it the Rebbe Medayik, some we'll talk about afterwards. So they don't go to war. Now why does he stress Kishar Yisrael? They don't go to war. They don't inherit land. And here he adds a line, B'koyach gufon. Now, the Rebbe doesn't mean Medayik on that, but I don't understand what this word means, why he throws this in. And then he writes, Elohim Chel Hashem, they're the army of God. Baruch Hashem Chel. Okay, and then he ends up. Now, on this halacha, the Rambam was mechadesh on his own, so to speak, where he didn't bring any mucker to it. The Ravid takes issue with. And the Ravid asks, Im Kain, Vayitlu Behem in those lands, Trumas and Isis. The reason you get Trumas and Isis is in place of their portion there to show. Then he asks a question, and the Kesef Mishnah explain what his question is. It came to Midian, which is the week's parsha, Parshas Matos. They did not take a chelek like everybody. Ela b'truma. When mitzvahs Yitzhak Yisbarach, and that was a special mitzvah. So the Ravid, the Kesef Mishnah, explains the question. He says that in Midian they didn't take in the spoils. They only took trumas, arimaisa mechas Hashem. Now the Rambam has a name for it. The Ramban, I think, calls it trumas hamechas, and that's what we're going to refer to it as. The truma of the mechas. They took a portion. As the pasuk says, we might see some tikachu and a sat the laws. There was a certain amount. The laws gets from the warriors, they get from the rest of the. Here's the question: why? They should be getting the Rambam. They should have gotten everything from Midian, just like everybody else. Since they didn't take Chelek Shava with the Muchach Milsa, the Leishna Vein Eretz Shalei Nichas Labris, Larish and Nichas Labris. Come on, makes no difference. Talk the Kesef Mishnah. And continues to explain it. So obviously, Mashinot L'Sham, there's Truma. They didn't take as spoils. They back in there didn't take spoils of water. They got a Truma. See what last time I wrote Shah. It's not like Kodesh Baruch Hu Trumas Ma'aser. U'tidash Aveni Shavas and Nichla Bris Yeshlam Chelek B'Aretz Lo Yitlu My Trumas. They shouldn't take any other Trumas. According to the Rambam. Now the Kesef Mishnah answers. It says they don't take Trumas Ma'aser in those lands. And here they did take in the spoils. They only took a little amount of Trumas Hameches. Mashal not the Midian Chelek Shavim Yisrael. Gzeres HaKosim V'Yisei Rosha. Okay. All right. Zok the Rebbe Chelek Gimel Parshas Matos asks that in Sefer HaMitzvos Sheish Gimel the Rambam writes K'mei Shemona Trumas Hameches. So they didn't take reason. They only took Takatrum. So what is the Kesef Mishnah saying? So here's where the Rebbe starts discussing different types of wars. And again, you listen to the Shiurim on the Sikh itself, as it is, but we're going into the depth of the Sikha. So the Rebbe says like this: the Milchemes Midian was not. There's two types of wars. Listen, there's Milchemes Kibush, Milchemes to go capture land. Milchemes, this was a Milchemes Nikoma, as it says in Parashas Matos. It says in this week's Parash. Okay, Nikmas Bnei Yisrael, some idiot. Don't take revenge. So therefore, it doesn't connect to the other lands. The other land, the Canaan Levim are equal to all of you, because the goal is to capture the land. Chemes Midian is a different type of war. Its Matorah, its purpose is not to capture Midian, but to take revenge. Even though Tribe of Levi has a portion in Milchemes Kibush, but they don't have in Milchemes Nekama. That's what the Rebbe starts with saying. And the Rambam's Hilchos Malachim Perek V'Aloch Zayin State Rambam Keshetzorim Alir Litov. So when you gather around a city to capture, you don't capture it. You don't surround it from all four sides. It's only from three sides. And why? You leave place for somebody who wants to run away. And then he adds, now this is a double lashon. What does he need? Both things. Somebody wants to run away, and somebody wants to run away. You're never going to explain that. Now, where is the raya to this? What was the command? Don't surround them from all four sides. Oh, we got a problem. From that it says, which is mashma. And where does he bring the pasuk from Midian? Wasn't a Milchemes Kibush. Another question, yes. Why did we leave space for them to run? If we're supposed to kill them and take the Kama, as the Lashon of the Ramban says, so why are we leaving space to live? You have to kill them. Now, he brings the Ramban, Sefer Mitzvahs. Ramban has a part called Sichos, things that the Rambam forgot. So, Mitzvah, hey, he writes, Kishanotzel ir, when you go and camp around the city, lay siege to a city. Laniach achas min arucha is believe matzah. You have to leave one of the sides without a siege. Shem yirtzu livrayach, if they will want to run away, Shem yirtzu livrayach, hiyalehem derech lonush. They should be able to run away. Okay, so now simply the reason is, as we said, they should turn right. But Rambam writes two reasons. And we'll see soon the Rebbe only brings one of them. But let's first talk about the two reasons Rambam brings. Where, number one, we learn to have rachmanis with our enemies during war. Give them room to run away. And another reason is because if you don't, they're going to fight with their lives. Don't give them room to run, and they're up against the wall. You know what happens? The person up against the wall, he can do anything. So that's why we leave room for them to run. To give them an out. The person has an out, he may not fight as strong. He won't fight as strong. He could be, well, generally. So he writes, in the end, this is a mitzvah. So again, the problem is if Mechama with Midian was to kill them, so what is this l'snag b'chemla? What chemla shayah there? Forget, we find by Amalek. There's no chemla. So I don't know, but it could be that's why the Rebbe leaves out that reason. He only brings the reason that the Ramban says that they shouldn't go very strong against us. So he says it could be that even Mechemes Nekama, even though you want to kill them all, but you got to leave room for them to run, so their Chas v'Shalom shouldn't hurt us more. It's for our sake. And then he says that could be the two expressions that the Rambam uses. As we said before, the Rambam seems to repeat. He's talking about Chemes Nekama. Because we really want to kill, but we've got to leave room for him to run. And because it's not about saving himself, we're not interested in saving himself. We just want them room that they shouldn't be backed up against the wall. And that's an normal chametz that you don't have to kill them, so let them get away if they want. But the bottom line, he says, that we're Kelu Mechemes Midyan in the line of Kishatzar Malila Tafsa. And not only that, the whole Allah is learned from that. So it seems that even Mechemes Midyan has some kind of connection to all other wars, which are intended to Ligbish. We're back to the Ravid's question. Since Mechemes Midyan is like all our Chemes of all our Rotzes, why didn't they take a Chelek in Klal Yisrael? So he said that perhaps the shit of the Rambam is that Mechemes Midyan has two purposes. It was Nikmas and Mechemes Nekama, but it was also somewhat of a Mechemes Kiddush, but similar to all other ones. Even though we don't find anywhere that they captured the land of Midyan, but since it says in the post, Vayish Bubnei Yisrael and Shemi, stop, it's called Behem, it's called Miknei, it's called Chelim Bazoz. They took all this, they captured all these things, and he took the Shalom Malkeir Vodem Behem. And Moshe's only complaint to them is, Achivim from the Geba. And then he told them to kill all the Zohar and not like Melchemes HaMolek, where he told them to kill everybody. Right? Not like Melchemes HaMolek, we didn't kill everybody. Over there he says, V'chramtem es kol ha-shalei. So we see that there's some meaning of Kiddush. There's some meaning of Kiddush. So therefore, we understand why in Mechemes Midyan they left a third thing. Even you didn't have to kill everybody. And therefore, Shevet Levi Taka didn't take in Biza because it wasn't a Mechemes Kiddush. I say we're back to the question. So why did they have to give Shevet Levi Trumas Mechas? Why did they have to give Shevet Levi Trumas Mechas? So he comes up with an incredible approach here. In Sifri Parshas Matos, Kiva says, Matam l'chol Matos Yisrael tishlechu l'tzava. Says lahavi shiftei shalei, but you have to also bring Shevet Levi to fight. Shevet Levi went out to fight Mechemes Midyan. So the Ragichav he wants to say that this is totally if Shevet Levi went out that if Shevet Levi went out to the war of Midyan, if it is like all other Melchames, then they don't go out. Rambam says. But if it's a Melchames that come out, they go out. Never asks. What do you mean? Rambam says they don't go out because the Hugdul Medar Ke'elam. So why suddenly do they go? They're still hugdalu. He says, what a about that Haket, Shevet Levi is the army of Hashem. So when there's a war that's not kibush, kedarke olam, hugdalu medarke olam, it's shaykh to Shevet Levi. And this war is for Hashem's sake. So with Chel Hashem, as being Chel Hashem, they gotta go. No Chaves Midyan, one lots of Nikmas Hashem in Midyan. And that's the whole of war. And Chassidus explains how Midyan stands against the Eibishter. Yeah. So therefore, in order to accomplish Nikmas Hashem, then he has to go out. Again, the Chel Hashem. So now we can understand. If they went to war, then now they have a shaykhs too. The Rambam says they don't get because they don't belong in. They have no shaykhs to the war. They go to war, they get. Now we have to give them. What's not explained here is that now that they are going to war, why are they not getting equal to everybody else? Okay, you can go with the Kesemish, there's a custom, but perhaps we can explain that a little later. And from there, he goes on to another unbelievable innovation. This that we said before, that Shevet Levi doesn't go out to war. It's totally haba. They don't go to war, therefore they don't get land. So, in the wars for other, he himself says yearly that in wars where they go to capture land, we give Shevet Levi. Why? They're not in war. They're not going to war. So that goes through the Kediyukim and Rambam. Why is the Rambam so specific? A land of Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Chelek. What did he say all this? Why did he all these simanim? He should have said, Eretz Canaan. As he writes the halacha before that. Like he writes in the halacha before that, Eretz Canaan. We would know where it is. You want to tell me he wants to connect that soul to the Avos, that in order to explain how Yarshu Lebneya, he writes Shnit Lavram, as he writes in Hilchos Trumas, Perek Beis, where he wants to describe himself. Bilam and Orange, Shnit Lavram. Doesn't write all of them. Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Why is he writing everything? Why does he need to be so specific? And then he has to be Yeshua, the name of the Skalkala. So he says that the difference in Kibbush Arts, Arotza, Shenichas, Abris, Avraham Yitzchak, and the other lands, is that the lands that you already did, the lands that are in the bris of Avraham Yitzchak is already connected to us. It's ours. It's one with us. We don't have to create anything. And everybody have it. Yeshua, the name of the Skalkala. We don't have to create anything. We don't have to create anything. They divided the Schalka and Kovshu, everything. I mean, the Schalka is in Kovshu, but the Schalka, Cholku. In order to live there. If it's a never Shevet then don't have Shaykhs Stark Elam, then no Shaykhs to this. But Shara Rotzis. So here, the Rebbe says, Achidish Pel and Losh Naram. Rambam in Hilchos Malach and Perek, hey, Malach all writes that when they go out to war, is Achach Nilcham Mulchem Esurashuz, Via Mulchom Asher Nilchem Shar Amim. They laharchiv gvul Yisrael, to expand the territory. Ula'arbais b'gdulasei b'shamai. Now, in the words laharbais b'gdulasei b'shamai, Lech Mishnah and many of the Neisikel means that they should be afraid of him, and therefore they shouldn't start up with him. Now, the Aruch HaShulchan doesn't like that shot. Every war is that. Every war you fight, you want to win to show who you are. The other says, "Laharbais b'gdulasei b'shamai" means Gedulas Hashem na Hashem. It's like the water for the Eibishter's sake, not his malchus. Now again, that can be explained the Chassidus with Melech and Bittul, all that. That's not our point there. And he brings what the Rambam writes in the previous Perek Dalet Halacha Yud Milchus Malachim, that should be the anhog of the king. Kol you Maisel Sheshamai. And the whole purpose of the king is wars. I mean, it could purpose, not the whole purpose. Oh, it's l'shem Hashem. Now b'chil Hashem has a shaykh. Therefore, chil Hashem has a shaykh. That's what the Rebbe says. Incredible chidush. So we still have to explain. At the end, as we said before, why are they not equal to everybody else in getting in the spoils of war? Okay, so we said that it could be, you could use the Kesef Mishnahs, right? But the way the Rebbe explains that they're part of the war, they're fighters, they're warriors. Why should they take? Why only taking Trumas Meches? Now in the other lands, they don't take Trumas Meches; they take the whole thing. Okay, Lashon is the Shevet Levi, it's not Rotzes, Bizosan, Kechol Yisrael. Perhaps, with the Yisaydas that said, we can say that there is a difference in Muhammad Shah Rotzes and Muhammad Smith. While, of course, Laharbais B'gedulas Vishamai means we're going to learn it goes on Shem Hashem, which is why Shevet Levi fights. But there's also an aspect like Yisrael. Now, once they go to war, comes along Rambam yearly. Now that they went to war, they get with everybody else. But it's not us, it's only Chol Yisrael. Chemes Midian was a Milchama link in Nikos Hashem. So in this, Hashem is not only shaykh to it. That's their war. Perhaps even everybody else is fighting as Chel Hashem here. Because you're fighting for God, you're not fighting for yourself. Now, I want to just note, in Bizas Midian, we find an interesting seder in how the sholol was divided. It says in the Pasuk, "Vayikches hasholol," they brought it to Lazar. Rashi says, "Magich are ksherim, the tzaddikim, the lenechshudu like gezel. They didn't steal anything. And that's what it says in the pasuk. He brings a pasuk for that, and they were tzaddik. Hey, Balataisis and Sefer Meishes, it came from the Balataisis, but it says Anshe has atzava bozazu ish loy. They did capture it. They took. He says, yeah, they took. When they came to the camp, they gave it all to Moshe, and Moshe gave it back to them, the Metalpolim. Not the Malkoyach, not the other stuff, the other Behemah that they divided up. And that was given back to them. Now, in the Sefer Hilchos Hashachar, he asks on Rashi, what kind of gezel is it? Where's the gezel? Gezel you have to steal from somebody. Who are you stealing from? And he also has a Balataisis question. He brings that the Netziv writes that during the war everything was hefker. A little different than the Balataisis. Okay, but the bottom line is that's not the Balataisis. What's about the places. You captured. You took it. You gave it to Moshe. Moshe gave it back to you. So Moshe can yourself keep it. Perhaps. Yes, Bizas Mitzrayim was the Bizas Midian was in order to capture, like the Rebbe says. But it was capturing for the Eibush. They had to first give it to God. A concept Mishulchan Geveya. That's why you have to bring it to Moshe. Moshe couldn't tell you to keep it. It has to first be Shulchan Geveya. He can give it back to you. And why is that? Because it was linked in Nimkas Hashem. So everything was for Hashem. And the Shalom also was Shaykh to Hashem. Not that it was Hegdish, but without Chalukah, it was belonged to the Eibush. So now it's Shaykh, the word Gezel, just like the Gemara says, and here it's even more so, it Taka is Gezel. Oh. So you can say, Pasha, that since this was a new type of Shalom, so there was Exeris HaKasim, that they get Trumas Meches. Because all of there was all the whole thing was Exeris HaKasim. So Mishulchan Geveya, this is what they were saying. And that would answer the question. But maybe you can go a step further. This is not so much relevant to the Sichos, but perhaps you can go a step further. We said that I'm using a very interesting Lashon. Which I think fits beautiful with what the Rebbe says, because they never fight like Klal Yisrael. Even when they do go and fight, they're going out Chel Hashem. They don't get to themselves. What does that mean? So the Rambam uses an interesting lashon. The Rambam says, "Shaliyimchal kol shevet Levi be'Eretz Yisrael." That's in Minyan HaMitzvahs. But we give them. Two mitzvahs later, he says, why does that say there? And he writes, why is he mixing these two together? So Ulai, the word of Shevet Levi is that they're mekabel from Klal Yisrael. That's what the Rambam is stressing. They receive from Klal Yisrael. They don't think on it. That's shliyikhu b'koyach atzman. They don't take b'koyach atzman. So therefore, they have to take. They don't take the meches, even if they will get whatever they got. It has to be with a truma. It has to be given to them. That's the way they become. Now, when it comes to Melchem Sharatzes, that's different. There, they are equal to everybody else. That's the yearly of the Rambam. And there, there's a new Seder. True, that new Seder in certain ways is learned from here, because the bottom line is they did get. But the Eif in here is different than there. Anyway, that I could be said, and it'll be here in the Sicha, and everybody. How do you stop this?